In life, it's not enough to know the information. It is how you use the information. In life, it is not enough to know what to do or be aware of what to do. It's how you do it. It is always the actions that are the proof of either growth, progress, or regression. There must be a record of this. Because if you have a record of what has taken place, then you actually know what the progress is. Or you know what has not happened, and you can take a course of action that's a little bit more aggressive. You would see where you're at and what needs to be worked on so that you can then dive in full throttle and make the necessary course corrections. Remembering and applying. It's one of the biggest challenges of the human experience because knowledge is acquired from birth all the way to death. Knowledge is a continuous cycle. Lessons and knowledge, and of course the brain is strong enough to retain a lot of information. But there are things that tend to slip out of the memory, and this is where taking notes comes into play. Because then you would have the physical evidence that shows what has happened. You would have it in its exact form. You would have dates, you would have times, you would have it right there in front of you. It would be the same as your workout log, where you know the muscles that you've worked for 1 week. You would know where your strengths are in those workouts. You would know where your weaknesses are in those workouts. You'd have it right there in front of you. So the same thing applies to spiritual activity or the meditations that you engage and what it does and where are the strengths and where are the weaknesses. You would have it right in front of you. Because the key is to remember and apply. Remember and apply. Actions are proof. When you are faced with a particular challenge, you remember what you did because you wrote it down. You remember your reaction because you took a note. You remember the type of meditation you did that elevated a specific ability. You have it right there in front of you. And you have a record of this throughout years. Next thing you know, it's 3 years later and you've got 3 years worth of information. If you are lacking in telepathy, you would see it. If you are lacking in the energy that is required to move things around you in order to suit your desires, you would see it. If you are struggling to maintain a certain level of positivity, you would see it. It would be right there. There are many lessons that are given to you on a daily basis, and these challenges tend to pile up so much that it's easy to forget what actually happened. It's easy to lose the lesson because you have so many things that pile up. However, if you were to make a record of these things, then you would know the exact challenge, how you responded to it, what was the resolution, what were your meditations, what were your abilities. You would have it all there. That is the missing piece with most humans. They gain all this wonderful knowledge. They go through all these wonderful experiences of life, the ebbs and flows, the good, the bad, and the ugly, but they don't remember. It's a blur. They can't pinpoint the specific course of action that was taken and the result. It's one of the reasons why I emphasize in these episodes to take notes. So for this week, take notes. Make an effort to track whatever the progress is, whatever the weaknesses are, whatever the strengths are, and see exactly what it is that needs to be done. See what exactly needs to be done so that you can move forward.